Hey everybody, so it's story time, and I want to tell you all a short story in hopes of helping somebody because that's what I do. I like to help people, I like to see people do good. So, yeah, my voice is a little weak because I just came home from dialysis and I already talk low, so bear with me, y'all. Oh, wait. Before I get into that, it's Scorpio season, so let's turn it up for all the Scorps out there. My birthday is Friday, so if you're not busy, come show me some love at 711 Snyder Avenue from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. So anyway, back to the story. So yeah, I've been through a lot of things in my life, a lot of tragedy. I suffer from a lot of anxiety. I suffer from a lot of depression, etc. My father, he passed away when I was 5 years old. My mom, she just passed in May of 2018. Wait, let's go back. I lost my grandmother in January of 2018. I lost my mother in May of 2018. And I lost my brother in December of 2018. My mom had breast cancer. She beat it the first time. The second time it came back a lot more aggressive. So she had to get a double mastectomy on top of heart bypass surgery. And over the years, I watched her. But this second time around, when the cancer came back, it was so strong that even after the operation, the doctor said that she couldn't even do the rounds of chemo that she was supposed to do because her heart was too weak. So I think because of that, her health just started to decline like rapidly. Like she was just so tired all the time, and I had to take care of her on top of myself because I started developing my health problems. So yeah, after she passed, my brother came home. He was incarcerated for 5 years, and I had to take care of him. Still dealing with taking care of myself. And when he passed in December, things were okay. I would say for about a good 2 years with my health, I was fine. But then my kidneys just started to decline. So my primary care physician sent me to a nephrologist, and the nephrologist was working with me for a very long time. And he gave me an estimate on when he knew that I was going to have to start dialysis, and his estimate was pretty accurate. So I started dialysis. I started hemodialysis first, which is when you got to go to the center and they clean your blood. I did that for, I think, about a year. And afterwards, I switched over to something called peritoneal dialysis, which is where you do it at home every night. There's this certain type of solution that you have to put into your body. It cleans your blood and remove the fluid, and then it drains back out into the bag. It was okay, but after a while, that type of treatment wasn't good enough for me anymore. It wasn't working for me anymore. So I started getting real sick, and I'm like, why am I so sick? Nauseous, tired all the time. I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, anything that I would literally eat or drink, I would just throw up. I couldn't keep nothing down, so I lost a whole lot of weight that I gained back. But I lost a whole lot of weight. So I was going to the ER like literally twice a week. Nobody could find out what was wrong, but I will always go to Lincoln or Medical Center because that's what I know. So at the time, I was staying with my sister Alicia, and University of Penn was literally around the corner from her. So I went to the ER, University of Penn, and I don't know if you guys remember, but that's when I was in the hospital for about a good 2 months. And they were telling me, like, they thought I had a stroke. That type of dialysis wasn't working for me anymore. I was having problems with my GERD and my acid reflux, all sorts of shit. I had a real bad allergic reaction to some shit, a lot. So I was in the hospital for 2 months. So at that time, I had to switch back from the peritoneal dialysis to the hemodialysis. So yeah, I went back in center. But let's go back a little bit. I was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes when I was 11 years old. I knew I had type 2, but the doctors are thinking that I had type 1. So somewhere around when I started getting sick, when I had to go to the University of Penn, I started having problems with my foot. Like, it was hurting, like, so bad all the time. My left foot, that is. And I would go to the podiatrist. He wouldn't have no solution on what was really wrong. It was painful. So I developed a sore somehow on my big toe. I have absolutely no idea where it came from. And that sore didn't heal, wouldn't heal properly. So that's when the doctor said, okay, we're going to have to cut off your toes. So I'm thinking like, alright, yeah, y'all cutting off my toes. I can still walk. That's fine. They cut off my toes. Well, first they said we're going to have to cut off your first 3 toes. But then the doctor said it doesn't make sense to do that because I would have more stability if they cut off all my toes. So they cut off all my toes. From there, I went to rehab. I had to learn how to walk. That rehab place was the absolute worst. I would never recommend anybody to go there. So I was learning how to walk, all types of stuff. But at first, it was healing good. Like, everything was looking up. But then, all of a sudden, like, it just started, like, taking a turn for the worse. It wasn't healing properly. None of that. So went back to the doctor, my podiatrist, and he's like, okay, so here's the thing. We can cut off your foot, but then eventually we're going to have to go back and amputate your leg. So he said, I would suggest you just go ahead and just cut off the leg instead of the foot and then the leg, so that way you don't have to withstand the operations twice like that and go through twice as much as pain. So let's just do a one and done. So I decided to do that. That was like the absolute worst. One of the worst days in my life. I cried like a baby. So yeah, he told me that I would have to get something called a below the knee amputation. So when he told me that, I thought it was going to be like, okay, y'all going to cut off like a little bit of my leg and ain't going to be that deep. Like, I think maybe I was naive about the whole situation. But they did it. It was very painful, the pain, but, the doctors, hospitals, they got that good shit. So, yeah, I was cool. So, once I got my leg cut off, I went to another rehab facility out in Broomall, and that's where I learned how to, like, walk with a walker and hop and do all those certain types of things. I was there for about a month, maybe 2. The other rehab, I was there for about 2 months, and then I was in University of Penn the year prior to that for 2 months. So I remember I came home July of last year, 2023. About my maybe 2nd or 3rd day home, I broke my ankle because I was being fast. I wanted to go to practice, and I should have set my ass down like the drill team wasn't always going to be there. So I broke my ankle. Then I ended up having to get ankle surgery. So I got all kinds of like screws and plates and shit in my ankle that I still can feel to this day. It's still healing on the inside, but it's healed on the outside. So with that, my recovery time, I was down for like 8 weeks. And I'll tell y'all, I was from, like, all of last year, I was just suffering, like, through a real bad depression. I wanted to commit suicide. I thought about it a lot of times. I only shared this with a few people. But yeah, I wanted to commit suicide. In the midst of all this, going through all this, the both of the amputations and the rehabs and breaking my ankle and all this, I lost my grandfather in August of last year, which was detrimental to me. Everybody know that was my heart. So yeah, it was a lot, and that just caused the depression even more. So I started going to, after my ankle healed, I started going to outpatient physical therapy. And no, I gotta go back. After my ankle healed, I started having at-home physical therapy. The therapist would come out and she would work with me with the walker, all sorts of kinds of things. So I could be able to maneuver around in my room and in a house if need be. At this time, I still didn't have a prosthetic. So I was using things like my walker, my wheelchair, my transfer board from like my bed to the wheelchair or the bed to the commode, blah, 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 blah. So after that, I just kept continuing with my dialysis. Mind you, through all of this, the rehabs, the hospitalizations, the in-home therapy, at-home therapy, all that other type of stuff, I'm still doing dialysis 3 days a week. And I don't know if everybody know, but dialysis is very straining on your body. Like, that's the reason why my voice is like this right now, even though I do already talk low and have a soft voice, but it's very draining and harsh on your body, especially hemodialysis. Peritoneal, not so bad, but hemodialysis is very straining on your body. So after dialysis, I'm always tired. Maybe not tired in a sense where I gotta go to sleep, because I don't sleep, really. But in a sense where you just need to lay down, like your body is worn out, it's exhausted, like that. So yeah, I'm still doing dialysis in the midst of all this. I think it was about, I would say the end of November, where they came out to the dialysis center and they began to fit me for the prosthetic. So I had to go through that process, and then I was told that I would have to go to rehab for 2 weeks only, which is a bullshit lie. But I went to Bryn Mawr Rehab out in Paoli. I was there for about a month. And I did not want to go back to rehab because that was my 3rd time. I'm like, I can't stand these fucking nursing homes. None of that shit. The workers, all that stuff. But I must say, when I got there, the facility was beautiful. My room was beautiful. I had my own little room the whole time I was there. The bedside manner was amazing. The nurses was amazing. The doctors was amazing. Even the food service workers were amazing. The physical therapists were amazing. The occupational therapist was amazing. Everything was amazing. It was clean. I don't have no complaints. So initially, when I was supposed to come home, after I would say 3 weeks, they wanted to keep me an extra couple of days because they wanted to just make sure that I had everything on lock. But I was like, cool. I didn't care because, shit, I wasn't doing nothing at the time. Couldn't do nothing. And I didn't really have no complaints about the facility. So, yeah. So, I came home in about January of this year. And I had to start with outpatient physical therapy. So I started with that, and I just started getting better and better and better. My actual stump, which is my actual leg that's amputated, it started to shrink like more in size, so I couldn't fit the initial leg that they gave me, so I had to go get fitted for another prosthetic, which is very much lighter in weight. It's easier to walk with. Yeah, which is the one I have now. So now I'm like really mobile. I can go up and down the steps. I can walk. I can actually walk without my cane. I still stumble sometimes and a lot, but for the most part, I can walk without it. But I do use it just for backup. I'm still trying to work on going up and down the steps without the cane, because I still need the cane for that. So yeah, there's a lot of things. I'm doing a lot better, yes. I came a long way from last year all the way up until now, but there is a lot of things that I still need to work on. I need to make a change, and it starts with myself. So yeah, that's story time. And I wanted to share this with you guys just so like I can help somebody. If you're a diabetic out there, and whether it's type 1, type 2, gestational, juvenile, whatever it is, take care of yourself, please. Eat what you're supposed to eat. Check your sugar. Take your medication. And follow it. Because if you do those things, you'll be good. Me, myself personally, maybe like my late teens to my mid-20s, I was just doing whatever I wanted to do. Wilding out, eating whatever I was eating. Eating without taking my medicine. Eating and then taking the medicine afterwards. You can't do that. You have to follow the guidelines. If you do that, you will be fine. My kidney failure stems from diabetes. I didn't have no type of kidney cancer or nothing going on with my kidneys, except for the diabetes is what caused my kidneys to fail. The wound that I had on my left big toe, diabetes. And then in the midst of all that, I had a real bad wound on my left leg. My right leg, I'm sorry. And then I had a real bad wound on my right foot. Those wounds also stemmed from the diabetes. Again, the one on my right leg, I have no idea where it came from, but it came from the diabetes. But yeah, so I'm going to be sharing a lot of information with y'all and just telling you guys how things are going. I hope that this first video could just inspire somebody and help them to understand a lot of what I'm going through, because it's not easy. I might make it look easy, but it's not easy. Wearing a prosthetic leg takes a lot of energy. It's very draining. It's draining just to put it on. It's so draining. So yeah, I hope you guys watch this video, share it, so that somebody else can be inspired.